Original Bayonetta voice actress refused insulting pay offer for reprising her role. Hideki Kamiya responds. Sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's what all I can tell now. By the way,
beware of my rules.
Wow, what an asshole!
Hello everybody, happy Saturday, and good day, good evening, good morning, good wherever the hell you are in these time zones on this planet of Earth. Hope you're having a wonderful day, because my god, this is a quite a controversial topic that we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into that, again, thank you for clicking on this video. If you could, it'd be wonderful if you'd click on that like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that bell so you can know when I post more good stuff, Batsy. With that being said, let's get into the video today with this, like I said, very controversial topic today. Miss Hellena Taylor, Bayonetta's original voice actress, has taken to Twitter to explain why she is not featured in Nintendo and Platinum Games' Bayonetta 3, which is coming out at the end of this month. So, she was approached by Platinum to reprise her role as Bayonetta in Bayo 3, and basically was only offered a maximum payout of about 4,000 pounds sterling, which for a voice actor for a big game, which, look, let's just be honest, 4,000 pounds sterling, pennies, peanuts. She basically was being offered, peanuts, So, in response to this, she has invited people to boycott the game if they want, and instead to give the $60 that they would have spent on the game to a charity of their choice. So, she goes into the videos below that are linked below, so you can watch them for context here. The Bayonetta franchise has made basically about $450 million, and that's not including the merch. And Miss Taylor is a very accomplished voice actress and very accomplished in her craft, having been trained, for 7.5 years, 3 of those years in the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, and, 4.5 of those years in LA. So what she did was, after she was given this very insulting offer, as she called it, she actually had a friend contact Hideki Kamiya over at Platinum Games in Japan, asking him for what, asking him, what do you think I am worth? What do you think I am worth? He responded with, he values me greatly, my contributions to the game, and that the fans really want me to voice it over. Then I received a better offer, 4,000 US dollars. So I can understand from a financial standpoint being so insulted like that, especially in this day and age, for $4,000 for voicing an entire game that they're going to make millions off of. I can understand $4,000 is peanuts and quite frankly doesn't amount to shit. It went on to say that she is encouraging people to boycott the game. She was just asking for a decent and dignifying living wage. And she did say what they did was legal, but it was immoral. And yes, I do want to stress that, yes, what they did was legal, but it was immoral. And she goes on to say that boycotting is a personal choice. And if you don't, that's fine. I decided to stand up for all the people who don't get paid enough for their talents. This affected her and made her think she was going to be on the streets, which has affected her mentally. Bayonetta always stands up for those with less power and for what is right, and with this, you stand with her. Thank you. So, here is where it gets divided, and I have seen all different kinds of responses. Obviously, I have seen people that have said they stand with her and that they want to boycott the game and not support this, and I can completely understand where people are coming from with that. Like, the treatment of voice actors is quite frankly very bullshitty, especially in Hollywood, cartoons, movies, and in video games. And I can already hear comments coming up saying that this is comparable to the Chris Pratt, Charles Martinet, Nintendo Illumination Studios Super Mario Brothers movie. And I just want to say I'm going to address that in a moment and tell you why that is not the case. If you will humor me, of course. Now, where people are getting somewhat divided is where she talks about Jennifer Hale, and I can kind of see where people are coming from here. She goes on to say, I wish the new actress all the best luck in the world, but she's not the voice of Bayonetta. I created that voice. She has no right to sign merchandise as Bayonetta any more than I have the right to sign as Eva Green, even though I was her parrot in the video game The Golden Compass. So here's my deal. I personally don't think she should have thrown that kind of shade or thrown Jennifer Hale under the bus. Because as far as we know, none of this is her fault. None of this is her fault. And quite frankly, just given the information that we have, I don't think she should assume any of the blame. That is, in my opinion, comes off as that is a very entitled statement right there. I understand how upset she is. I understand that this has deeply hurt her. But throwing shade at Jennifer Hale, in my opinion, for them choosing her for the voice of Bayonetta for Bayonetta 3. I'm sorry, that's unfair. That's also, like I said, coming off as entitled. That would be like if Mark Hamill was gravely upset that John DiMaggio was chosen to voice the Joker in Under the Red Hood. It'd be kind of in the same vein as that, context and situation, differentiating from this, of course, but it would kind of be in the same vein as that, because different people have all voiced that character. But giving her circumstance here, again, I can understand where she's coming from. And it doesn't look especially good on Platinum when Hideki Kamiya responds on Twitter, sad and deplorable about the attitude of untruth. That's what all I can tell now. By the way, so ominous and a strange response by Mr. Kamiya, and it especially doesn't help that he's put this particular tweet only on people who can or people that he has added, so he's closed off comments. And so I'm just like, really, dude? That probably was not the best response you could have given for this. And let me tell you, and I'll link the tweet below, the replies to this have been pretty hilarious and kind of deserved in his part. Because I'm sorry, dick move on his part. So in closing, I would also like to do this brief comparison, and that's comparing the Super Mario Brothers choice of Chris Pratt as Mario to this situation that I see people comparing on Twitter. Humor me. Charles Martinet and Shigeru Miyamoto have both, in basic terms, given this movie their blessing. Both have said how excited they are, and Shigeru has been very involved with the Super Mario Brothers movie, hands-on. Charles has not come forth with any kind of, statements of mistreatment. Charles has not come forth talking about any kind of financial situation. In fact, he has said that he is very excited for the movie. It is rumored that he is involved at some way or another, but that will just come down to, when we actually do watch the movie itself. So I've seen people comparing this, saying that Nintendo has mistreated Charles. Humor me, but these two situations are not the same. They're alike, but they're not the same. Because just from all the information we've been given about the choice of voice acting for the Super Mario Brothers movie, it's obvious, in my opinion, just with all the information that we have. And if anybody else says that they have, or they know the reason why they don't go, have not, gone with Charles and instead went with Chris Pratt, I just want to say, you better link your source, you better show your proof, because nobody outside of that creative room with Shigeru and Illumination and Nintendo, nobody else knows the reason why except for them. And if you're not one of them, then you're full of shit. Charles has not come forth with any kind of controversy or anything or any signs of mistreatment. Miss Taylor has. And while I certainly would say we certainly would like to see more details, especially I would like to see what Platinum has to say about this, because again, there's two sides to every story, of course. I personally feel that comparing this situation to the Super Mario Brothers movie choice of voice as Chris Pratt for Super Mario, I think is not only an unfair comparison, I think it is also an immature one. Because with Super Mario Brothers, it's just, we want Charles to voice it because we love his voice and he's the signature voice of Mario, which I get it. I completely get it. I personally would prefer Mark Hamill voice the Joker forever, but companies make the decisions that they make. They make the decisions that they make, and and we don't know why those decisions are made. But Charles and Shigeru have blessed this movie. They have said that they are excited for it. No controversy on that end or signs of mistreatment have popped up. So saying that Charles is being mistreated for not being chosen as the Super Mario Brothers movie voice of choice for Mario, that is not the same as this. And I completely understand where Ms. Taylor is coming from. This is a very egregious, very asinine attitude that Platinum has taken with her. I do not agree with throwing Jennifer Hale under the bus like that or throwing shade at her, because I do not blame her for this. But I understand where she's coming from and how she feels so passionate about this, and it feels like her baby is being ripped from her. I understand that, but I do not agree with calling out Jennifer Hale or saying shit about her. I do not agree with that, and I cannot agree with that. As far as boycotting is concerned, I cannot tell you what to do. It's like with Activision Blizzard and World of Warcraft and Overwatch. I cannot tell people what to do. That is a personal decision that people have to make on their own, and that's all I can say about that. Will I personally be playing Bayonetta 3? I do not know, because again, I would like to see more of details of this story, and I would like to hear, exactly what is Platinum, why exactly did Platinum make this decision? What exactly is Platinum's side of the story? Because again, there's two sides to every story. But you tell me in the comments below, how do you feel about this situation? Do you think Ms. Taylor is in the right? Do you think that she was right to call for a boycott of the game? Will you be boycotting the game? Do you think Platinum made a right decision? Do you think it was right of her to throw Jennifer Hale under the bus like that? Or do you firmly stand with Ms. Taylor in everything that she said? Because again, everybody has an opinion on the matter, but I certainly would love to know more as time goes on. But definitely, I do agree with one thing, and that is voice actors are very underpaid, very mistreated, and quite frankly, this situation and attitude, as far as from what we've seen so far from Platinum, has been nothing short except one word: asshole.